Okay, so in summary, Africans in America have failed to take their place of leadership and sovereignty in the world due to subconscious, ever-present residues of active imprints and conditioning patterns of behavior from slavery. These imprint patterns influence our thoughts and behavior around money, survival, sex, and female-male relationships. The key to identifying these residual enslaving patterns is close and honest self-observation. We have to really start looking at ourselves and being honest about what we see and admitting to what we think and admitting to what we know we feel. And if you're afraid of just about everything, then you know that you need to ask if you can move into the library. You know you need to quit your job and you need to go in the library and ask if you can live. And you need to start reading everything you possibly can that relates to any fear you can imagine, so that when you come out of there, you can bust out like Superman and Superwoman, daring a fear to come across you, because you have information that you can deal with. Because again, fear is ignorance. The willingness to study and become knowledgeable about every aspect of our life and our environment. I've gone to people's environment, they've asked me to come and visit, and as we're driving, I say, well, what's in that building? Well, I don't know. Well, what are they doing over there? I don't know. Well, what is this building? Well, I don't know. Well, why is this so? Well, I don't know. Well, I'm like, well, how long you been here? All my life. I'm like, woo, wow, that's like really something, okay? It's like you don't have any idea what is going on in these buildings in your own neighborhood, who they are, what's in them, who comes and goes, why? It's very, very dangerous. It is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. You would be surprised what's right up in your face in your own community that is waiting to destroy you. And you walk past it every day. Because that's masses. We don't ask no questions. We don't investigate. We don't know. Identifying and nullifying all emotions would support unproductive behavior. If you know that you get angry about something and start throwing things around and busting up stuff, you have the problem, and you've got to get a control over that and check your behavior. It's not anything outside of you. This is all going on within. You must get yourself under control with these emotions. You're always in tears. You must get yourself together and get your emotions together. There's nothing outside of you. This is all in your mind. Yeah, it is. How you choose to see yourself or other people. Always apologizing. It's a problem in your head. Because either you need to pay attention and stop making, quote, what you think is a mistake, or either you need to admit that, yes, I did want to do these things, and I'm not apologizing for it. And you just deal with it. Have a goal in life and commit to pursuing and actualizing the goal. Never accept no until you reach the goal and the desire. I've had so many patients come to me and I ask them, well, you know, what is your goal in life? Oh, I really don't know yet. Wow, you've been living 45 years with no direction? And you wonder why your life is like it is? Whew. Gee, you've been dabbling in stuff that was never created for you, but if you don't have a focus, how you going to get there? How you going to avoid trash and garbage? Because you don't have a focus. Well, I wanted to be this. Oh, really? Well, what happened? Oh, I got married and had children, and it's just a whole litany of excuses. Because children go where the parents go. So that is no excuse. So why haven't you actualized your goals in your life? And the only reason is because you have not held the focus to do so, and you do not believe in yourself to do so. And it has nothing to do with age. So your intent is to go to college? Well, you live indefinitely, so what's the matter? You can go to college at 300 years old and graduate. What's the problem? There should be no excuse. Never, never argue in behalf of your weaknesses. We've talked about that. That is a no-no. Your personal goal should be that you expect to wake up one day and not have any. But if you have any, so what? There's no reason for you basically not to achieve. It's never an excuse. Clean up your mind, your body, your home, and your community. There is no reason that our community should not be a place where everybody else wants to squeeze in. They should be arguing and fighting to be able to buy property in our community and live with us, not running away to the other side of the world. So it's very clear, everybody wants to have brown skin. Everybody wants to basically have nappy hair. Everybody wants to have big lips, big butts, everything. And so you all have it and don't want it. Won't keep it clean, won't keep it neat, won't keep things fixed up, and then you wonder why people don't want to be around you. Well, the thing is that we don't understand the people that have everything and don't want it. So maybe we should just get what we can but not get too close. And that's literally the attitude. So there's a little teeny town in Detroit known as Hamtramck. And it established itself because of the tax breaks they gave to Chrysler. And that little community has all little wood frame bungalows. Everybody's little patch of grass out front and in the back is so nice and neat and cut. They have little flower boxes on every house. And they are the only community in the city of Detroit where you can get everything you need. Everybody else in Detroit has to drive to the malls and to the suburbs. But in Hamtramck, on their one little main street, you can buy a diamond ring, you can buy a car. Do you hear me? They got car dealerships, everything. On the one little block just about. It's no more than a mile. And you can go there, get anything you want on that street because those people say, I'm not driving to get fresh bread. I'm not driving anywhere to buy a car. I'm not driving anywhere to buy clothes, none of that. So they can go right on this one strip and get everything. It's the only strip in Detroit where you can walk out of your house on your foot and buy everything and come back home on your foot. And these are, what are they? Polish. This is Polish. The only other city I've been in where I've seen that in the city has been in Atlanta, but that's in Buckhead. When I lived there, I could walk outside of my door and buy a Rolls Royce and walk back home and have them drive it back while I walk. But most places, you don't believe in having the things that are necessary and are pleasurable to you and in your life where you live. You have to drive way away from your home. No, that's what slaves do. That is the residue of slavery. Your immune system is your best friend. Observe your life and remember you created it. The life you created is not to stress you out, but to teach you about self-mastery. You are the master of your life. Next. Is that it? Oh, okay, there's one, that last one. Yeah. Did it get smeared too bad? Yeah, that one. Did it smear off? Yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, turn it. Okay. Can we get around? Yeah, I printed that one on the wrong side. It says, never involve yourself in an activity or with people that will not get you closer to your goal. Okay? Now, I remember that people used to say that was being snobbish. Well, I think it's being intelligent. Okay, that, you know, why should I take my good time and energy and be with somebody that is not about what I'm doing and does not want to go where I'm going? Because that means if they're not going the direction I'm going, if I'm going to be with them, then I got to go in their direction. Well, then what happens to my goals in my life? Am I supposed to blame them all of a sudden because I didn't stay focused and stay on my path? No, because I had a choice. So it's not smart. And finally, be honest with yourself, and the world will be honest with you. So I want to thank you so much, and I love you. And that's my office number up there. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. I was trying to tell you with a little water back there. I told Dr. Pookrum we had a really good feeling about her. We knew that I knew that she had the knowledge that we could use. We're now going to have a 15-minute intermission, and if you would please fill out your cue cards, and so we can come back for, not cue card, index card, give it to me or Alvin Blakes for the question and answers. Thank you again. Yeah, a little bit, I stopped taking that part. I was getting all the other medicine and stuff.
Tabulo, the Mtabulo tribe, have been studying them for over 17 years. And if they cut off a toe, they cut off an arm, they cut off a finger, etc., they spontaneously grow it back, just like a reptile. And it's very clear to me why they can do that, because they don't have a judgment about the fact that this can't be done. They don't know anything about that, because we need our toes, we need our hands and arms for survival. So if we have not paid attention and made a mistake, we just know how to go into posture, just like a reptile, and it grows back. And so, of course, these anthropologists have been looking at the blood and, all this other stuff, trying to figure out what special gift or talent do they have. They don't have any special gift or talent except no attitude on the experience. Do you understand that? And that's why I want to work with these women that have had hysterectomies, because if I can get them to rescind and neutralize the attitude, which is chemistry, the cells will spontaneously then rebuild themselves as they know themselves to be. And there's no female body that knows itself without its uterus. Okay, can I?
Okay.
Does that answer that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. All right, endometriosis, again, ignorance and the lack of information about hygiene. So now this is very amazing, but it's been known that when a woman does not conceive, and she is, should I say this in this order? When a woman has allowed herself to ovulate, and then she does not conceive from that ovulation, the endometrial lining is shed. This is what creates a menstrual cycle. It is not natural for women to walk around bleeding for 40 and 50 years. Get that. That is the signature of an ignorant woman who does not know how to control her genitals. In enlightened societies, the women are taught right after the onset of menses how to use the breath the first 13 days of a 28-day cycle for a minimum of 20 minutes, and the ovulation process is arrested. Therefore, ovulation is not allowed to occur until the woman is clear that she wants to conceive. Therefore, she stops the breathing process, ovulation ensues within 60 to 90 days, and she conceives. She never spills her blood and wastes it on a sanitary pad. These women then are able to have children up until their 90s, because menopause is a deficiency. It is a depleted pituitary gland that has lost its nutrients because the owner has bled every month for 40 years. Now, endometriosis is also the result of ignorance, of not understanding that if the menstrual cycle is allowed to ensue, that her electromagnetic force is put in the most electrified position in a 28-day cycle. That is to say that instead of having a magnetic pull from the Earth's energies, she has an electrified force to push everything out of her at the time of her menstrual cycle. So what dissipates electricity? Water. And when a woman on her menstrual cycle submerges her body in water, she neutralizes the magnetic effect, and the downward flow of blood now becomes lateral, and it spills out through the tubes into the pelvis to seed a pelvis full of endometrial tissue that will actually cycle every month with her hormonal cycle. So women who intuitively knew this did not put their bodies in water at the time of their menstruation. They did not wash their hair. They did not submerge their feet because it reverses and nullifies the electrical pole of the body at that point in time. So women are never electrified until the onset of menses. That's why men talk about they act crazy and a whole bunch of other stuff. They don't want to be touched. Well, that's just like electrical current. Touch it and see what happens. Okay? But she is not to be like that. But that is because she does not know how to control the genitalia. So the genitalia is just like a pencil. This pencil can draw a beautiful painting. It can draw the entire blueprint for a city. It can also be used as a weapon to punch somebody's eyes out with. So is the pencil the issue, or is it the mind? So the genitalia are for many reasons, not only for procreation, also for tissue regeneration, also for activation and enlightenment of the mind, and also for unification with the spirit. So when you buy a TV set, you take it out of the box and you open it and you plug it in, and whatever channel it was tested on when it was packed at the factory is the channel it plays on. But if that's not the channel you want to see at the moment, then what do? We get the manual and figure out how to change the channel. Is that correct? Well, that's how the genitalia are. When you are born, whatever channel they are programmed to is what they will actually reflect to you at the time of their maturity. But if you're not into reproduction at that time, then you have to learn how to change the function or change the channel. The same thing with men, is that every time you emit your semen, you lose in nutrients 1 pint of blood. So when I hear these men go around and talk about all these women that they have, I recognize that I'm looking at walking death. Because if you can have emission of your semen 4, 5, 6 times a week, which is equivalent to 6 pints of blood, I know that you have no idea of what you need to eat and do to regenerate and replace that. So where is all that nutrient being drawn from? Your bones, your muscles, your brain. And so when I go into the hospitals and I pass these rooms with these men slobbering out the side of their mouth, having had massive strokes, etc., I knew what they did when they were younger. So that is why Wilt Chamberlain is not here at 63 years old when he was supposed to be here for thousands of years. So his 10,000 sexual escapades cost him. So again, our medicine and our science is hygiene that teaches all this. That it teaches you how to be able to use the breath. It teaches you how to be able to govern your body so that it complies with your life, so that you're not worn and burnt out by the time you really want to use it. But when you're a slave and you're just here basically to do your master's bidding, why would such knowledge be wasted on you? And so therefore it's not. But see, the greatness of you being a manifestation of God is that it doesn't matter what somebody else's designs are on you. It only matters of what your designs are on yourself. And so I have this knowledge because I wanted to know it. And you can have it too just because you want to know it. It has nothing to do with color, money, or anything else. It has something to do with your desire to want to know. And that's why I'm saying is that not until you have that desire above everything else to know are you going to be able to be a leader and take your proper place on this planet. Yep.
Okay. We're about out of time. We have time for one quick question. And we had several questions on minerals. And what amount should African Americans take minerals? What brand of minerals do you suggest? Should a nursing mother deal with minerals in the same amount as other adults? Can you discuss specific product names that you think are best? And we've heard a lot about indigenous products. Are they as good as they say? So,
Okay.
you can
All right.
come out with one answer. And
Okay,
we'll see.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm an IP girl. So I really appreciate indigenous products. I've been trying to figure out how I could get my minerals in me for a very, very long time. Because one of the things I know that, gray hair is a representation of depleted mineral stores in the body. And that is not something that we're supposed to have. But if we cannot get our minerals from our food, or we do not have the proper supplements, or our digestive tract is impaired, then we don't get the minerals, and the body will go to the stores to get what it needs. So I tried mineral tablets and pills, and they really didn't work. The best thing that did work for me was sea vegetables. And so one of the things, as the reason why Asians have such dark hair for such a long period of time, it's rare that you'll see a indigenous Asian with gray hair. And the reason why is because an indigenous Asian will always eat sea vegetables or seaweed in their diet. Well, most of us don't know how to cook them. We've probably even never heard of them. And usually they're quite salty, so you have to acquire a taste for them. So next to that, using an adequate mineral supplement where the minerals are in a small enough form that they can go through a damaged digestive tract is very important. And so IP, indigenous products, minerals, solve all of those dilemmas for us. And so when we take them, our body responds right away because they're in angstrom form, small enough where they can cross a damaged digestive mucosa. They can actually pass through the mouth. I've seen them do tremendous things. And when I take them, I feel immediately better. I just completed a 31-day fast, and I worked every day. And this fast was not the fast that you're thinking about, so I want you to be clear why I did this, because I was very clear about the fact that I did not want to have any more emotional chemistry in my body. And so the fastest way to destroy the body of chemicals from emotions is to force the body to use them as food, because they are made out of peptides. So once you clean the body of emotional residue, your body does not respond to the habits from those emotions. The only thing you have to pay attention to is to make sure that you and your mind don't carry out the behavior anymore. But these are secrets that people will never tell you. But the spiritual reason for fasting was to remove emotions from the body. So in the process of doing that, I used my IP minerals, etc., and I was able to work for 31 days with no food. Was something else I was supposed to say? Oh, okay. Was that it?
Dr. Pookrum, we want to thank you for such a mind-opening presentation.
Thank you. I want to thank you for coming, and I want to say this to you, that my goal is to return the owner's manual to the human body back to humans. I feel as a physician that this is the most humble and the most reverent thing that I could do for another human being, is to give back to them the information that you should have about how your body works, what it can do for you, and how to be able to care for it. So I do that through my website. I have a chat room every Tuesday that you can become a member of my health club, chat club, and every Tuesday I talk about a part of the body. I talk about it from its anatomical, its social, its mythological, its emotional, and spiritual perspective. So my chat room is from 7 to 9 every Tuesday night. You can go to my website, www.drjewelpookrum.com, to join. My chats are literally interactive. My graphs and everything, they turn around and spin and talk and everything. And there also are some of my chat rooms that are out there. The chat room that I did on the vagina, on the penis, and on the skeletal system is quite profound, and you might want to invest in those. My name, www.drjewelpookrum.com, doctor spelled DR. Pookrum.com is one name. So, you know, if you really want to learn anatomy and physiology and have fun doing it and be able to talk with me in the process, join my chat club. Okay, so IP products are out there. Oh, and by the way, I just started this new practice, my virtual practice. So normally in the African community, a practice like the one I have, you wouldn't see for another 15 years. But a virtual electronic practice where the doctor is virtual, you'll come in and you'll see me on the computer. Our nurses will be there to help you. Everything is given to you right away, et cetera. The visit is only 10 minutes. But I guarantee you with the technology that we use of energy medicine, we will know precisely what's wrong with you without blood test, without CAT scan, anything. Well, Sabanda, you know, you've got some of these tests.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised what we can do now because a lot of the technology that I'm using, they use on the space stations in outer space because they can't take all this laboratory stuff up there. They don't have surgical suites, et cetera. So they have interfaces where they can interface with their own midbrain and find out what the body is dealing with and give the frequencies back because it's about exchange of energy now. So you have to stop thinking in such a archaic and cumbersome perception about yourself. It's about energy, a balance of energy to understand how you dissipate it, how you absorb it, and how to keep it equilibrated. And so our e-medicine practice is available with that. And the only thing that we primarily ask you to ingest is the minerals because we can't give you the energy and you hold on to it if you don't have the minerals which hold energy in the body to hold it there. So I look forward to seeing you in our new virtual practice. And I'm excited about that. That's going to be fun. Okay. Thank you so much. Huh? Oh, it's in Oak Cliff. 4347 Southampton Road, Suite 130.
In that bank building.
Right, in the Bank of America Bank building. So I have all the information at the table. So I want to thank Ms. Esther Davis. She's here. Thank you so much. Mr. Stephen Clear of IP Products is here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Our ancestors have definitely...
Did we say Tim was here too? My friend, this great melanologist, Tim, there he is right there. So he's here doing another workshop, but this is the brother that has profound information on melanin and how the brain works. And, you know, I would have not wanted to conflict with your lecture at all if, you know, we could have done both things. And the reverend that brought him there, you want to take a stand? Thank you. Did you want to say something about the program? We want the tapes. Come up here, right.
Dr. Tim Moore, we've had Dr. Tim Moore there.
Yes.
We've been training up on kids' lessons and brain neural science and good students and introducing melanin to our school system.
Right.
And the brain process.
And how to teach children with melanin.
African children. And so these knowledge off of dog, teaching dog matters and the science of melanin. Get his book, it's not images, it's power information. So we're going to utilize
Repeat the name of that book again, because it's not going to do anything.
Okay, can you repeat the name again? It's
The name of the book.
Dark Secrets. The Science of Melanin, Dark Matter to Dark Secrets by Tim Owens Moore. Great brother. This brother's awesome.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you again for coming out. Our ancestors were with us. If you would please just wait 1 minute so that we may close out in libation. So the spirits of our enslaved ancestors wanted us to get this message today so that we can know the effects of slavery on us and how we can overcome all that. So if we will, I'd like to send the spirits of our ancestors back. Ashe.